So here's what we've got in store for you in the world of business this Friday. The Insurance Crime Bureau has noted an increase in claims padding and staged incidents. Now, they are citing financial struggles as the key motivator for the fraud. This includes people adding items to burglary claims even though they were not stolen, or even changing the name of the primary driver for a vehicle to get a lower premium. Let's listen in on this.
How big this is, we've for years and years and years tried to establish that. And you can't tell with certainty what it is. But the estimates range, from 10 to 20% of all claims are fraudulent. That's the one estimate that we have in that range. And there's another estimate that says something like 70% of all claims have a fraudulent element to it. So it might be a valid claim, but there's a fraudulent element to it. So I did have a burglary, but I've now padded the claim a little bit. So it's big, and it runs into billions. Around the world, it runs into billions and billions of dollars. In South Africa, billions of rands. And has very serious consequences. Firstly, for the honest policyholder who ends up paying a higher premium. That's just a fact. The premiums have to go up to credit for these fraudulent claims. But the consequences could be that where you have a valid claim, your entire claim gets rejected because of a small element of fraud. That's the one consequence. The other consequence is that you get, what's the word? I mean, you get blacklisted. So you become uninsurable into the future, which is a very serious consequence. And finally, you get prosecuted. Insurers and banks have to and do take a zero tolerance approach. So if they do find fraud, you will be prosecuted. You can pay a very big fine, and you can go to jail.
Some very dire and stringent repercussions there that are mentioned when you have a valid claim, but you include fraudulent elements in that claim, becoming uninsurable. That, as well as prosecution, are some of the repercussions. But Govender also warns of fraud by service providers who quote inflated prices or who exaggerate the problem. This could also hike the premiums, he says. He advises people to get comparative quotes.
And what insurers do is, we've got systems where we vet service providers, and we try to have a long-term relationship with the service provider, and we try to get them to see it's a long-term relationship with you. So if you're getting steady work from us on an ongoing basis, you don't need to try and gouge the pricing on the odd job that you get. So that's one way. And the other way is there's a lot of checks and balances in the system now. There's a lot of checks and balances where we send out assessors to check it. We get people to double check. We've got systems that tell us what the price should be, and so on. So service provider fraud, big part of the problem in the country. That also pushes up prices to a great extent. And it's something we try on an ongoing basis to build systems and relationships to try and manage it. But it is a very real thing, like you say.
Still staying in the world of business, let's take a look at the